With the prevalence of TikTok and Instagram, every other person out there thinks they're a decorating and design expert. While all of these posts and videos are a fantastic source for inspiration, it does not necessarily mean that the rooms you are looking at are well designed. It takes a key eye and experience of a professional interior designer to truly do the job right. Perhaps most importantly, an interior designer knows what mistakes to avoid. It's often the small things that make a big impact. In this video, we're going to talk about 9 things an interior designer would never do, and we're getting after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about living in Richmond, Virginia and the surrounding counties of Hanover, Henrico, Chesterfield, New Kent, Goochland, and Powhatan, subscribe below, tap the notifications bell so you can be the first to know about the current market in Richmond, Virginia. My name is Scott.Dearnley with Joyner Fine Properties. In my 20 plus years in real estate, I've helped countless families move to the greater RVA area, and I'd love to work with you as well. So my contact information is linked below. Please give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email if I could be of service in any way. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about 9 design things that you never want to do according to interior designers. Now, am I implying that I'm an interior designer? Heck no, far from it. But I have been in this business for a long time. I've read lots, believe it or not, on interior design. I've had home stagers that are designers stage my listings. I've absorbed as much as I can from them, and believe it or not, most of you guys know by now, my wife is a new home builder, and whenever we have a model home, guess what? I'm the one who has to stage it. So we have I won't say warehouse, but we have several storage units full of furniture and artwork and things, and I'm the guy that gets to basically design the houses. And I help my wife with selections on things when it comes to the new home. When we have a spec house and we need to make our selections so the house looks good. So I have, am I a designer? Heck no, but I've been around this a long time and done some research. And now I'm going to tell you 9 things an interior designer would never do in your home. So all right, so number 1 is putting the bed in the wrong place. Now, bad bed placement will often ruin the entire flow of a bedroom. One of the most common examples I've seen of this is putting a bed on a corner, putting it in a corner on an angle. There was also a while where putting the dining room table on an angle was all the rage, but that essentially did the same thing as we're going to talk about here in the bedroom. But putting that bed on an angle in a corner, it kind of instantly turns it into a small room and more like a college dorm room. And now this will often happen when you have a bed that is too large for the space. Now, in your master bedroom, you're supposed to have, a king size bed is fairly standard, but in other bedrooms, if you're trying to jam a king or a queen into a room that's just too small, instead of trying to put it on that angle, you just have to get a smaller bed and then center that bed in the corner of the room. And also, you may only have room for one nightstand. You might not have room for one on either side. So do not try to, jam that second nightstand in there if there's just not room. But that is not the only example of bad bed placement. Designers will also tell you don't ever put the bed in the middle of a room or on a floating wall. That is going to restrict the flow and detract from the calm aesthetics of the space. All right, number 2 is the use of faux finishes. And I would throw wallpaper in here as well. I kind of consider that like a faux finish. But when you see faux finished walls, those are like sponge paint and different things like that. That's actually been a trend for the last few years. And while some homeowners and developers really love this, designers feel otherwise. They are not into faux finishes or heavy use of wallpaper. Another example is using real hardwood floors and faux hardwood floors in spaces right next to each other. So the LVP has taken over the flooring world, and it's a great product, absolutely a great product. But do not put that in one room that butts right up to a room with real hardwood, because that juxtaposition of the real and the LVP is just going to make that LVP look fake while on its own, it's a really nice product and very popular. All right, so mistake number 3 that interior designers would never make is to forego comfort for style. While aesthetics are very important in decorating, if a sofa is too stiff, or you have a dog and the slip covers you've put on your expensive sofa need dry cleaning, designers just say no, don't do it. Now, interior design is not only about creating visually pleasing spaces, it's also about creating functional, livable environments. Now, a beautifully designed room is worthless if it's uncomfortable and you're not going to spend any time in it. Everybody's had that formal living room in their, parents or grandparents' house that never gets used. Do not make a room at your house like that. You got to use it. So it is basically essential to strike a balance between form and function. All right, we're on to number 4, and that is purchasing dark brown furniture. From sofa to dining room tables and chairs, dark brown furniture has been a major trend for years. However, many designers are going to tell you that looks old and tired. Dark brown furniture is done, according to many major designers. Now, we've all seen that home that has the stained wood trim all over it. That's an easy fix. That wood trim you can paint. And I'll tell you, I have renovated houses and that old stained trim looks so dated, and when you paint it white, it freshens that room right up. That can be done with a lot of this furniture that's case goods, like end tables. That can be painted. If you have a dark brown piece of furniture, don't just automatically throw it out. It can be painted, it can be distressed. Just watch Joanna Gaines and all these people on HGTV. They love to take furniture, dark woods, and paint them and distress them, and bang, it's like a brand new piece, and it looks hip, it looks fresh, it looks chic. So just start avoiding those dark brown colors and dark brown furniture, according to designers today. So number 5 on the list of no-nos is installing the television over the fireplace. Now, like the dark brown furniture, installing the television over the fireplace has been a trend for years and years and years. Now, sometimes the room, there's just no other space and you have to do it. But if there's a way to put it somewhere else, like flanking the fireplace in a bookcase, it is recommended by designers. So oftentimes putting it over the fireplace will ruin the proportions of the room, and it actually will detract from the beauty of the fireplace itself. Most guys, like myself, want to put the biggest darn TV up humanly possible, and oftentimes that TV is bigger than the firebox, and that kind of makes it look top heavy. Now, if it is a must and you have to put the TV above the fireplace, and now oftentimes, like I said, a room just will not lay out any other way, there is an option. It's the Samsung Frame TV. This is very cool. And these actually look like a real piece of art when they're not on, and you can buy a picture frame to go around them, so it truly looks, when the TV is not on, like you have a nice frame piece of art over your fireplace. I have seen them live in actual homes. They are very cool and a wonderful option to look at if you just can't figure out another way to lay out the room. So nice to know there are options to fix this perceived issue. So we're rolling down the list and we're on to number 6, and that is choosing the wrong sized rug. Now, a good rug often does not come cheap, so many people scrimp on buying the right size, and they'll buy one that's too small for the room to make it fit into their budget. Now, designers will tell you never to go down this path. Using a rug that's too small for the room makes the entire room look smaller. So if that larger rug is out of the budget, wait till it goes on sale, or pick a rug that's the right size that maybe has a synthetic material or is machine made versus hand knotted. But do not buy that small rug because you will regret it. It will make the room feel too small. So number 7 is mistakes with window treatments. Many people approach window treatments in a room as an absolute afterthought. However, designers will tell you that they are essential to make a room complete. One designer said, "A room without curtain panels is like a present without a bow. Something just feels like it's missing." So designers will recommend that you hang curtains as high as possible, even up to the crown molding if there is crown molding, and you should hang them higher than the actual frame of the window. and they should also go wider than the actual window. They say go 10 to 12 inches out of the frame of what you are framing with the window treatments. That is if space allows it. So this immediately will make the room feel bigger because your eye is tricked into thinking that entire space is the window. So it's a very cool visual effect by going 10 to 12 inches out of frame, both on the sides and on the top. They also say the bottom edge of the panel should just kiss the floor or rest slightly pooling on the floor. If they're sitting up off of the floor, it's going to look cheap and poorly designed. So there's another window treatment tip for you from the experts. So number 8 is blocking a view. Now, while every home doesn't necessarily have a gorgeous view, there's still never an excuse to block a window according to top interior designers. So if you can avoid blocking a window or even partially blocking a window, do so. Nothing will make a space feel more crowded or overlooked than a partially blocked window. I see this so often when people place a bed right smack in front of a window. Just to me, visually walking in a room, it just looks wrong, and avoid doing it, whether with a bed, a tall dresser, an armoire, anything. If you've got a window in that room, do your very, very best not to block it. All right, we're at the end of our list, and that is to color block in highly contrasting colors. Now, this color blocking thing has been a trend in recent years, but it's really easy to make mistakes with. Sometimes you're looking to infuse excitement in, your various rooms, but actually with paint, sometimes less is more. While it may be tempting to use a whole different, bunch of different colors in adjacent rooms, it's generally a hard trend to execute well, especially if these colors are highly contrasting. It often kind of yields a disjointed feel from room to room, and things don't flow and have nice harmony. In my wife's new houses, what she does is she gives folks a choice of 3 wall colors as the standard package, and what we always recommend people is pick one color for your base package throughout your whole house, and then use 2 additional colors as your accents. And then most people pick the dining room for an additional color, and usually there's a white molding at the chair level height, and then so paint a different color above that white chair rail, and then use one for your master bedroom and bath, and that can add a little color and movement throughout the house without going overboard. Literally picking a different room for every color can really make a house feel disjointed. You want to let your furniture, your rugs, your artwork, let that do the talking. Let that really accent the house and not necessarily the wall colors. I also see this sometimes in kitchen design where, I've been in houses and the upper cabinets are one color, the lower cabinets are another color, the perimeter is one granite, the island is another granite. It's just too much. Occasionally, on a rare occasion, if it's done just right with the perfect eye, that could be pulled off, but more times than not, I've seen that just look like a mishmash of garbage, and it looks like crap, to be honest with you. So same thing with the colors. Sometimes less is more, and let other things like your artwork, your furniture, your rugs, let that be what's visually stimulating and not necessarily a million colors on the wall. Well, that's it for your video on 9 things an interior designer would never do, mistakes they would avoid. Now, am I telling you I'm an interior designer? Heck no, but I've been around this for a long, long time, both having my home staged on resales and then doing staging for my wife's new homes that we use as models. So I do have some experience in the field, and today I was just conveying these 9 things that I've read the experts would never do. So I hope you found it interesting, and remember, if you're moving in 9 days, 90 days, 9 months, if I can be of service in any way, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. All of that information is below. Until next time, I hope to show you around town.